It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Well, my friends, Frackville, Pennsylvania. Incorporated in 1876, around 3,900 people here. And you'll find probably the finest people in little patch towns such as Frackville, Pennsylvania. Frackville was named after an Anglo-American, Daniel Frack. And so why do I bring this information to you? Well, you know, in society today, there are so many things happening. People are building businesses, they're building homes, they're doing a lot of great things. Who would ever think of putting a business or investing in a business in their own hometown or near their hometown? Well, we have two entrepreneurs today we're going to talk to, along with some other people. These entrepreneurs invested in Frackville, Pennsylvania, invested in the people here. And I got to tell you, born and raised in a little patch town in Partysville, Pennsylvania, I can't tell you how precious it is to have people that are your good neighbors, people who are friendly, and people who are generous, and you can't find any better people than these small patch towns. Frackville, Pennsylvania, we're going to talk today about people who own this place, the Frackville Business Center. Why is it important, my friends? Because these are two people, Linda Yeich and Christine Holman, attorney Christine Holman, who've invested in their communities. These are the businesses that are here today, and they're growing, as you can see, and we're going to talk to them today. Why? Why did they decide to invest in a small little town with great people? I can't tell you how proud I am to be born and raised in a little small town called Partysville, Pennsylvania. And now we're going to talk to them. These two people are certainly no strangers. We've had them on the show before. I'm here with Linda Yeich, and I'm here with my good friend, attorney Christine Holman. Congratulations, first of all, on another beautiful move that you made in establishing this building. But before we do that, if our viewers remember, a while back, we did another show in Tamaqua, okay, Linda, where you had this beautiful building you took, and we showed the befores and afters. It's amazing what you did in taking pride in a small town, okay? So tell me what you did with Tamaqua, and then how we transitioned here to Frackville.
Sure. In Tamaqua, we had purchased the historic building known as the Shep House in 2007. And we've grown there between my title insurance business, Northeast Pennsylvania Settlement, and attorney Christine Holman with her law office, and her daughter, attorney Jackie Pitts, now joining us in Tamaqua. And that's at 204 East Broad Street, right on the main street in Tamaqua.
Now, why did you decide to get that building? If I recall, the both of you decided that you wanted to just renovate it.
Well, Linda started there, and I was courted by Linda to join her in that building, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made, business-wise.
What was the history of that building, if I remember?
Daniel Shep was friends with Thomas Edison and was one of the first entrepreneurs to bring electric to Tamaqua and Schuylkill County.
Now, I mentioned in the opening, and I mentioned a few times, the fact that I was born and raised in a small town, Partysville. Very proud to say that. You couldn't find finer people in the world. Christine, you know, coming to Frackville, all right, is interesting because tell me about your life here.
Well, I'm actually coming back to Frackville. I was born and raised in Frackville. My parents both born and raised Frackville. My grandfather, Charles Light Miller, actually had a business in town directly behind this building. For those who would be watching and know a little bit about Frackville, it was the Frackville Service Center on Middle Street. And that was a business that he had with some partners, and they did a lot of heavy equipment. My dad actually had worked for that business for a little bit when he was growing up. And I had an office originally in Frackville when I started. Well, I should back up. When I ventured out into the practice of law after being a law clerk for some of the county court judges, I was an associate with Rubright, Domalakis, Troy, and Miller, who are one of their main offices is here in Frackville. After that, I then decided to go out on my own to be a solo practitioner, and I found an office actually out on the Maria Highway. Again, for those who know the area, they'll know what I'm talking about. And I had established the law office of Christine Holman. And it was actually in the Just Aerobics and Fitness Center building. I did very well there. I actually had known Linda at that time as well. I would refer some real estate to her, and vice versa. She would refer some clients to me. But it's home for me.
The interesting thing is, Linda, when you look at the talent that both of you have. I'm not just saying that because you have great talent. Okay, you're a county row officer. You've won very easily. You were one of the best DAs we had in Schuylkill County.
Well, thank you.
You did a great job. I mean, the record shows. Okay, so people say to me, "Hey, Sam, why don't you go to New York City? Why don't you go to Allentown? Why don't you go to Philadelphia?" When I was working with Jack Palance, Jack says, "Sam, do you ever think of moving out here to LA?" Because I worked with HBO and Sony and was a consultant to many of those people. And listen, those towns are great, but nothing like coming from a hometown, okay, born and raised. Why didn't you move on, Linda, to a bigger city?
Well, I like Schuylkill County. It's a coal region. We all have what I call those coal region work ethics, where we got to get up every day and we've got to push forward. And for me, Christine is actually a graduate of North Schuylkill School District. For me, I'm a graduate of Blue Mountain Area School District, but my children and now my 2 grandchildren are going to North Schuylkill School District. So my heart is here in North Schuylkill, Frackville, and the surrounding counties. And I had opened up an office across the street at 218 South Lehigh Avenue. We sold that building, and again, I love small towns. I love Frackville. I love the people here. I love the other business owners here. And so I could not do this venture of the Frackville Business Center by myself. And so my friend and partner, Christine Holman, and I purchased the building here in June of 2023. But if I have to back up a little bit, and you like history, Sam, the building was built, I would guess, in about 1970, and it was built by what was known as the Pennsylvania National Bank. And there's been a various mergers and successors in the banking industry, and ultimately M&T Bank closed its doors in December of 2020, knowing that a lot of people are doing things online, mobile deposits, and the brick and mortar, they wanted to try to streamline. They kept the ATM behind the building for their customers, and the building sat vacant for 3 years. So it was my vision of gutting the bank teller area, adding a few walls, and making a Frackville Business Center. And of course, when I say to Christine, "We have a project, are you in?" she graciously says, "I'm in."
And as the entrepreneur that you are, picking up what she said about the towns, okay, knowing, and your practice is doing fabulous, thank God. Why didn't you decide to move into a bigger city?
I think I'm a small town girl. I like Schuylkill County. I've been, obviously, like the rest of us, been to visit Philadelphia, New York City, and I'm really always glad to come home when I'm there.
Yeah.
Like I said, and you said, my roots are here. My mother's family, there's one, the Dameter family. There's not one Dameter in the Frackville area that I'm not related to. My dad's family. It's great to be here. I'm proud to join, again, the business leaders and community leaders of Frackville.
When you talk about hard work, okay, they don't just say that, okay? If they're not up at 5:30, and correct me if I'm wrong, and working until 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, I'm sure, you say, well, those sometimes are typical days, because you're traveling and you're doing the Schuylkill County work, and then you're doing your own work, okay? You wish sometimes we could take those, our work ethics that we have, make capsules out of them, and sell them. Because, I think you bring a good lesson to people who just know it could be out there. It doesn't happen. People say to me sometimes, you're a lucky guy. And I say, it's funny, the harder I work, the luckier I become. You find that all the time. I mean, your day is...
Certainly. Linda and I don't know any different.
Yeah.
We don't work soft. We work hard, and we like it.
People, I say I'm going to slow down as I get older, and they say, Linda, that word is not in your dictionary. You're not going to know what to do. But again, having 2 jobs as Schuylkill County Treasurer and as President of Northeast Pennsylvania Settlement, again, we start our day early. Our day doesn't end at 5 o'clock. Our day doesn't end on weekends. And again, for those of you out there who have tragedy in your life, and those know that there's been tragedy that's come to my life, but you take those negatives and you try to find the positives. And you've got to get up every day and you've got to find the positive and push forward. And so it is things like the Frackville Business Center, my husband, my grandchildren, my son, Christine, and all of the friends that we surround ourselves with that keep pushing us to do better and do more. And what do I say? If somebody's busy and you want something done, ask a busy person, because they're going to tell you yes. We never say no.
Yeah, no question about it. So this place, okay, you have businesses in it already. You want to tell me some of the businesses that are in here right now, either one of you?
Sure. We have Realty World, We Get Results, and the broker is Wendy Knorr. We have Pam Tomko and her counseling services in the building. Dave Pedron with Dave Pedron Insurance. We have M&T that is still leasing the ATM. So we've kept the ATM active for all of their banking customers. We have 1 empty office, so we have 1 tenant left that we're trying to secure and bring in 5 or 6 small businesses into 1 large building, and we can all benefit by the beauty of what the building has to offer.
It's interesting because it's a small town, but yet you're right next to a major interstate.
It's a perfect location.
Yeah, it's like absolutely a perfect location. You got your small town issues, and then you have the big towns, or of coming in from big town. In looking at the development in this area, I know we have the Schuylkill report that we do every month, and we bring a lot of interesting people on talking about what's happening in their own county. And sometimes people say to me, Sam, I didn't realize we have this. We didn't realize we had that. You being the treasurer, okay, you've seen a lot of things in the county. We have a lot of opportunities available to us in our own backyard that sometimes we're blind. It's like acres of diamonds. Earl Nightingale used to say we have acres of diamonds in our backyard. All we have to do is look for them. Am I correct in saying that, Christine?
I would say so, definitely. Frackville, the surrounding towns are little diamonds in the rough.
When you're looking at growth, all right, and you're looking at attracting businesses, all right, does traffic have a factor? People coming by, and does that have a factor in some of the businesses you have here?
I would probably say no. Traffic does not have a factor. Yes, we are right on Route 61, which is the main road going off of 81 through Frackville as you go to towns north of here, such as Ashland and Shenandoah. But I think for us, I think that I look at it as we're providing a service to the local people and the local residents. So we're traveling to them instead of having them travel to us. So we try to look at the map is 30-minute increments. So Tamaqua to Frackville is 30 minutes, Tamaqua to Pottsville is 30 minutes. And so if we can come to our clients, because again, in a day and age, time and convenience is important to other people, and to us, service is important. So we, provide outstanding service, and I believe that's one of the things that tends to our success. When you are committed to giving service and giving good service, that has what's blessed us here in our businesses.
Exactly, and I can add to that being present, being in your shop, so to speak, is the cornerstone of success. As we mentioned, Linda and I work 24/7. If you want to see us in Tamaqua, we're in Tamaqua. If you want to see us in Frackville, we're here. Our doors are open. We are accessible. There's many places you would drive by and you're kind of peering in thinking, I wonder if anybody ever works in there. We work here. We work Tamaqua. We work anywhere.
It's funny, this is a good thing. But it's also called online, okay? And sometimes, you're forced to go online to look at some things, but there's nothing like coming in and dealing with a person one-on-one. if there's nothing more frustrating is when you call a company and hold on, push 3, push 5, and then you get a person who's maybe in Peru or India, etc. Well, it's nothing wrong, but the point is you don't have that personal touch anymore, okay? And it's a shame that we're doing away with a lot of those personal things, but you're bringing that back here. Am I correct in saying that?
That is correct. Now, our Frackville Business Center here, our office is by appointment, and that's for all of our tenants. So while your typical office day is 8 to 5, we do encourage everybody to call the businesses and schedule an appointment with those other business owners and those other tenants. Again, as you say, if people know Christine and I, and our office hours are not 8 to 5, it's whenever our phone is ringing, we are answering and serving our clients. They know our cell phone numbers, and we like them to call the office, but we know if they're calling our cell phone, it's an emergency, it's important to our clients, they need us now, and we respond to those needs.
So you had success, or you're having success with the Tamaqua office, correct? Okay.
Yes.
And who's in the Tamaqua office? You and you?
Well, predominantly myself, my daughter, my new associate, Jacqueline Pitts. I have an estate paralegal, Susan Kester, invaluable to me. I have a full-time assistant, Michelle Nevin-Glosky, again, invaluable. We have Andrew Smith, our realtor. And then, of course, Linda has an office there, and her and some of her staff are in and out. So it's busy.
So you've taken that building, you made it great. Okay, then you looked at, how did this place come about? So you moved into Frackville. Is it something that you saw happening?
Well, between Christine's roots and my roots here in the community, again, we want to stay in Frackville for that ease and convenience of our clients and the services that we can provide to the residents and the community of Frackville and surrounding towns.
Okay.
It was the building was an opportunity that we couldn't pass up, and I was actually quite shocked that it was available.
Who saw the building first?
Linda.
I just knew it. I knew it was going to be Linda, right? I could see Linda running around like this, Well, because you saw the opportunities, you saw the opportunity, right? And then
I did. I saw an opportunity. I knew I couldn't do it myself, and like anything, it's always good to have that partner that you can collaborate with. And again, Christine is that partner that I can collaborate with, and she'll never tell me no usually. And I say, "Are we in, Christine?"
She'll tell you no in a nice way. She'll tell you
Never.
no. No, come on. In a legal way, she'll tell you. Okay, but at least the both of you are.
I wish we would have had some before and after pictures, but we were too busy to take before pictures. But now you have after, and it's amazing to see this place. When we first walked in, I was starting to have second thoughts, thinking, "Oh boy."
Seriously.
But we also got to give thanks to our husband. Champ Holman is the Tamaqua project manager. My husband, Todd Yeich, is the Frackville project manager, and they get the honey-do list, Sam. So they make us shine, and they make us look good, too.
And it's a great team, The thing is that when you've taken that and you're making an investment, and, you're so right that when we had our stores, you were walking and say, oh, well, most of them were turnkey, but some of you had to go into small towns. And you have to have faith in the community. You have to have faith in the town. Most of us, especially, have to have faith in yourselves, because you're making an investment and saying, hope for that. It's like build it and they will come. Did you find that?
Yes.
Yes, definitely, absolutely. And we're not strangers to Frackville. So people know us. People respect our work. It's nothing but good.
So I have advice for you.
I'm
giving free advice. I'm not going to.
You know what that's worth, right?
Free advice. Don't let Linda go in any more towns.
Right.
Keep her out of towns, will you? I can see her going down to Murraysburg and say, "Oh, you know what? I just saw a building here."
I do that myself. I start thinking, that's another potential.
Yeah, but you find, what I find is we're in the Laurel Mall now, but of course, being a native of the area, when you see people, and you're my aunt, and thank you for doing this, and you're in the community, and you two are involved in it. Well, of course, being the DA, you were always there, and you in public office, Do you find the public office having a conflict with your entrepreneurism?
No, it just drives me to continue to work hard, try to service, 2 jobs, service the county, the government, and all the taxpayers that elected me. And then again, I do at Northeast Pennsylvania Settlement, I have a staff of 3 full-time people and 3 part-time people. At the courthouse, I have 5 full-time people. So we lead, manage, delegate, and we take visions and make them reality, Sam.
How do we get out of business mode? I mean, you have to hit a switch and then, okay, Lynn, you're out of business mode. Okay.
We have those moments.
You do?
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break. Folks, I'm here at the Frackville Business Center, right at 255 Lehigh Street in Frackville. Great town. All these small towns are great towns. We'll be back right after this. Well, welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. We're at the Frackville Business Center, a little great town, Frackville, over 3,900 people, incorporated 1876 with 2 entrepreneurs. No stranger, of course, to the show, Linda Yeich and attorney Christine Holman. You remember Linda had her own TV show talking about her business. And let's talk about your business.
Sure. So I am president of Northeast Pennsylvania Settlement. I also serve as the Schuylkill County Treasurer. And Northeast Pennsylvania Settlement handles residential and commercial real estate closings. We handle them if they're a cash deal, lender financing. We handle some vacant lot acquisitions. We primarily focus in Schuylkill County and surrounding counties, handling real estate closings, refinances. People call us title insurance agents. So most of our work comes from referrals from realtors and lenders, but we're here to help if you're buying real estate or refinancing real estate.
And her shows are on our YouTube, so if you want to learn more about her company, it's on our YouTube. And Christine, of course, anything you want to add?
Well, Sam, of course, the important stuff, if you want to call me, 570-874-1402, or look me up on the web at www.northeastpasettlement.com.
Christine?
My areas of practice are vast. I do criminal defense work. If you are in trouble with the law, you need to get in touch with me quickly. I do a lot of family law, which includes divorce, custody, support, adoptions. I do real estate with Linda. The real estate that I would be in charge of would be really preparing deeds, looking over contracts, preparing agreements of sale. I typically pass off that work then to Linda to be able to close out the sale. We've been doing excellent in that area. I do estate work. So when someone dies, all of their property becomes an estate of that decedent. And there's a lot involved in that. Again, it's too hard, it's difficult to explain in a short amount of time. But I welcome you to call me. Typically at my Tamaqua office, 570-668-5321. My assistant will schedule you for a consult, and I would be able to tell you anything you needed to know from the beginning of what happens in petitioning for an estate to the middle to closing it. And as well as the other areas of law that I practice, I would be more than happy to schedule a consultation for you, and hopefully I could meet your legal needs. As I mentioned earlier, my daughter has joined my practice, Jacqueline Pitts, and she is learning all of the areas that I practice in as well. She's got a good head on her shoulders, and I'm happy to have her with me.
And they are the entrepreneurs. They have this place here, the Frackville Business Center, 255 Lehigh Avenue in Frackville. And now we have 2 other people we'd like to talk to. Joining me now is David and Cindy Pedron from the Pedron Insurance Agency. Interesting. Congratulations on coming to this building. I'm sure you're going to do very well. Tell me about your business, David.
Yes, thank you. Been in business in sales since 1982. Worked for other people for a few years. Came out on my own probably 2008. We started our own insurance agency, and honestly, we never looked back. We represent Travelers, Farmers, Progressive, Baltimore Life, a couple other insurance companies off market, and I always say it's an insurance agent that you can talk to the guy who owns the business. That matters. That matters.
It's interesting, Cindy, because you have a multiple insurance companies, so you could pick your insurance company, or you could fit the need for that particular person.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Each company has their own appetite.
Yes.
So this company might not like that, and that company might like this, and they're a little more lenient. So we can insure vacant homes all the way up to the mansion on the hill.
Yeah. And you've been around for a while. You've been active in the business as well?
Yes, I do the bookkeeping and take care of the more detailed items of the business. Dave he's the active salesperson.
You make his paycheck, right?
She makes me look good because she takes care of the stuff that I don't need E&O for. She takes care of all those little details.
You know, the interesting thing is when you have a family oriented business, you put more of a personal approach to it because
absolutely.
It's that one-on-one.
You care about your customers because without our customers, we don't really have a job.
Yeah.
So we bend over backwards, I'd like to say, to make sure our customers get the best rates. If there's a claim, we follow up with them.
That's critical.
And it's important because you can't be just there to take the premium. When they need you, you better answer your phone and get your guy out there to take care of the roof or the automobile accident or whatever. Yeah. And again, I can't say it enough. You get the owner on the phone every time.
I know. That happened to me in my life with the roof. Where it was a situation where you go crazy trying to find the people that are supposed to be representing you, but that's why you've been around a long time.
Yeah. And I tell you, I've been in the insurance business probably going on 40 years now, and I work for Remax 5-Star Realty as a realtor, so I kind of fit people together, and it works out well.
So you tailor make people.
Yes, we do the best we can.
Good. Yes. And you've been there by his side helping him out, right?
Yes.
All along the way.
I know the story well. My wife's there. She's my backbone.
Yeah.
Now let's talk to someone else. Joining me now is Helen Murnicki. She is the associate broker with Realty World, and congratulations on coming to this place.
Yes, isn't it wonderful?
Tell me about your Realty World and what you do.
Okay, well, I'm an associate broker. I have a license in Pennsylvania, and I'm doing this 38 years. So yes, and I love my job. I'm so fortunate to say every story is different.
Yeah.
And just getting to sell the properties, market them, find the buyer. Nothing's like the joy in someone's eyes when they're able to get home ownership. That's what makes my job so fulfilling.
So you bring a lot of experience to the table, don't you?
Oh my gosh, I have a lot of designations. I call them the alphabet, with all these designations. But yes, I always believe in education. You have to keep up. You have to be, on the cutting edge, not in the bleeding end of it. So you have to keep yourself current with all the rules, regulations. So, because the people, your buyers and sellers, they're trusting you to find them the home or to sell their property and to make sure it's done properly.
And that's the fact that they have to have trust in you.
Oh my gosh.
And looking at a person who's been around for 38 years, you don't look it, but you have 38 years,
Yes.
which is important, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's very important. And the thing is, I tell people, I pick up the phone. Nothing's worse than when they're after 5 o'clock and they're like 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. They're worried, about something in the transaction. Call me. You could text me, call me, email me, and I will pick up, to say, so to put them at ease, because that's, it's so stressful when you want to buy or sell. Not for me, because I'm the one facilitating, but for them with the emotional attachment to the properties, it is quite, emotional for them.
So how do we get in touch with you, Helen?
Oh, this is the best way. They also know me as Sellin' Helen, and your home is my business. I have a webpage, PA Sell My Home, and I also have Sellin' Helen at me.com. And my
phone number?
Phone number 570-449-9476, which is my direct cell number. And that's the best way to reach me. We also, the office, 875-2045. But that's limited to the office hours. My cell numbers, like I said, I do pick up off hours.
There you go. This place, my friends, it's a beautiful place. It has people like this, but they're all local people. It's all one-on-one. The Frackville Business Center, 255 Lehigh Avenue. Helen's been around for 38 years. You can get in contact with her. It just broadened me the aspect of how many great people we have in this small towns. I'm glad you tuned us in. Hope you learned something today. We'll see you next time.